Chicago. The Windy City with amazing architecture. We loved it here, despite the cooler weather. We stayed in Naperville, just outside of Chicago, with Ronny's extended family. It was nice to see some familiar faces, Rick, Lynn, Chris, and Pup Wrigley during our stay. We were here on Halloween, which is a big deal in the States. Walking through the neighborhood, this was pretty obvious. People go to great effort to decorate their houses, kind of like Christmas, but with pumpkins and skeletons. Kids also go trick-or-treating, so in preparation for the evening, I hot dog suited up and joined in the festivities. To get to know Chicago, we picked up a Chicago Explorer Pass, a value deal with plenty of attractions to choose from. We started off with the Big Bus, which is a hop-on, hop-off system. It's a handy way to orientate yourself to the city and decide where you want to go. We checked out the Field Museum with Rick, a huge establishment where you could spend an entire day as there is so much to see. We saw the Jurassic World exhibit here. Based on the movie, this had some pretty realistic looking dinosaurs. We came across Sue the dinosaur, the world's largest and most complete T-Rex skeleton. Fun fact, her head is a replica. You can find the real one upstairs here. At 600 pounds, the skeleton can't support the enormous weight of her head. We also visited the Art Institute of Chicago. Housing famous pieces of art, including American Gothic, we spent time wandering through the exhibits here. The Art Institute can be found in Grant Park, which in itself is an attraction. Most notably, it's home to Cloudgate, better known as the Bean. No visit to Chicago is complete until you take a selfie in its reflection. Finding higher ground is always a good idea. Here, we checked out the 360 Chicago observation deck in the John Hancock Center. This had a great viewpoint overlooking the city of Chicago, including the famous Willis Tower, better known as Sears Tower. Sitting on the edge of Lake Michigan, the views of this city on the water were great. Later, we headed down to the water's edge, including a visit to Navy Pier, and jumped on the Centennial Wheel. We took an architecture river cruise from here, and this was by far my favorite activity. It was the best way to see the stunning architecture in Chicago. Walking through the city, you see some amazing buildings, but seeing these from the river gives this place a whole different perspective. Our tour guide Bill was funny and informative, keeping us distracted from how chilly the weather was becoming during the cruise. If you're even slightly interested in architecture and hearing about Chicago, this experience is a must. On a side note, Ronny was amazed school buses actually look like this in America. Out of the city and into nature, Rick took us for a walk in the Morton Arboretum, close to Naperville. With grounds covering 1,700 acres, here you can see all the beautiful colours of fall. Colours that you just don't see in Australia. Their mission is to collect and study trees, shrubs and plants from around the world and present them across naturally beautiful landscapes for people to enjoy. Beautiful. The World Food Tour really ramped up in Chi-Town, Pie-Town. Yes, I'm talking about Chicago deep dish pizza. Something I'd been wanting to try for a while. It was really good. Chicago-style Garrett's popcorn was also on the tasting list. I tried their recommendation of mixed cheese and caramel popcorn. Sounds strange, but it works. I also had a Chicago-style hot dog, and to top off the food tour, I baked my Oreo caramel cheesecake with all American ingredients. A big thank you to the Pittard family for hosting us and giving us a great local living experience in the Chicago area. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and leave us a comment. Until next time, happy adventures.